So, as we've seen, corporations are definitely taking action, but young entrepreneurs have also a say in the long term. They disrupt traditional patterns, they create new paths for growth and for social inclusion. Well, to them, it's quite simple. A greener world is an opportunity to seize. Hugh Whalan is one of them. He's part of the World Economic Forum's Young Global Leader in 2015, and he has already started 3 businesses in Africa focused on an innovative finance of solar, from crowdfunding to energy loans to pay-as-you-go technology. His goal is simply to bring to 500,000 customers in West Africa energy by 2018. So, question here. Does technology means business in a sustainable economy? Of course, I get that. Hugh Whalan, the CEO of PEG Ghana, has the answer.
Hi, everyone. I would like to introduce you to Linda. Linda is a seamstress who lives near Zogbeji in the eastern region of Ghana in West Africa. She lives there with her husband, who is a cattle herder, and their 5 children. This is a photo of them in front of their mud hut. This is what nighttime looks like for Linda. Between herself and her husband, they earn $4 to $5 a day. She has no electricity. She relies on kerosene, candles, and batteries. She walks 5 kilometers to go and get her phone charged because there's no electricity around her. She does that 2 to 3 times a week. Energy expenditure costs her 30% of her income, 30%. And because she can't afford to give light to her children at night, they're not able to study. More than that, the noxious fumes released by kerosene create indoor air pollution that contributes to upper respiratory infection. Upper respiratory infections kill more people every year in sub-Saharan Africa than malaria. On top of that, the noxious fumes also contribute significantly to climate change. There are 1.3 billion Lindas in the world, and that's projected to double by 2050. 1.3 billion people spending $250 billion per year on crappy, polluting fuels that literally kill them every day. When I heard this 7 years ago, when I was working in the carbon markets, I did not see 1.3 billion people who were poor or were helpless. What I saw was 1.3 billion consumers. I saw 1.3 billion potential customers. This is my 3rd company in Africa. And more than ever, I believe the technology and the business models exist to eliminate energy poverty for good. Because the same way that Linda leapfrogged landlines to get straight to mobile technology, so too can her and her energy-poor neighbors leapfrog fossil fuels to get to renewables. This is not a pipe dream. People are already doing this, including PEG, and I'm here to show you how. PEG sells solar home systems that provide lighting, cell phone charging, and radios to customers who are often hundreds of kilometers away from cities. They're unbanked, they have no assets, they have no steady jobs, and they're semi-literate or literate, or illiterate. Now, most companies would see this and they would think, these are reasons I would not work with these customers. But technology innovation has meant that those barriers are turning into opportunities. An example of that opportunity is pay-as-you-go solar. Pay-as-you-go solar was pioneered by a group in Kenya called M-KOPA, and the way that we use it is to deliver credit to these customers so that it can pay for these solar systems over a period of time. This is how it works. There is a SIM card embedded inside the solar system. That SIM card relays real-time data to us. And that means a couple of things. Firstly, when Linda calls us for help because her solar system isn't working, the equivalent of pushing the on button on a computer, and it happens. We have real-time data in our 24-hour call center. We can diagnose her problem immediately, despite the fact she's hundreds of kilometers away. And we can solve her problem over the phone call. The second thing that we can do with pay-as-you-go technology is we can allow her to pay with mobile money over time. And this is obviously incredibly important if we're offering or extending credit to these extremely poor customers. After 12 months, Linda owns the system outright. This means that over the 5-year useful life of this product, she's expected to save $1,000. Now, that's a pretty good deal for somebody who's earning $4 to $5 a day. In addition to that, she now has light in her home that is 40 times brighter than kerosene. She has cell phone charging, and because she's pretty savvy, she's actually charging her neighbors' phones as well to make a little extra money. And she has radio, which gives her access to information and entertainment. The other thing that we are able to do is know her credit history. So at the end of 12 months, we have had a year of her paying us every single day or every second day. And that means we know if she's a good repayer or not. That allows us to extend additional financing to her once she's finished her first loan for things like larger solar home systems, clean burning cook stoves, things that significantly improve her life, reduce her carbon emissions, and provide her with productive assets. This is an example of one of our service centers. We've got dozens of them around Ghana, and all Linda has to do is walk in and pick up the product, and we handle the financing part of it. If there's one thing you take from this speech today, it is that there are no excuses anymore. As Paul Polman was saying, the technology exists, business models like ours exist. We are able to solve energy poverty right now. And if there's another thing that we do that's slightly different from the way you may have perceived the problem previously, is that we don't view these people as charity cases. Again, as Paul Palmer was saying, business here is a solution. These people are poor, but they earn money. And their hard-earned money, they spend judiciously, like you or I do. And we are earning their business and growing very quickly. In fact, we want to reach 2.5 million people by the end of 2018, precisely because we deliver them a service that they need and want, and we provide great customer service doing that. So the clarion call here is that we can do this. Business models do exist. And if we do it right, we are going to be able to help an entire generation of off-grid households completely leapfrog fossil fuels and start using renewables. And that would be a wonderful thing for those consumers and for the planet. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hugh Whalan.